It's gotta be. Yeah, it's
Shadow the Hedgehog 2.
Oh shit, I didn't want to play this game. What is this?
An anti-hero.
Oh god, it's the Arthur meme all over again.
Of the first episode.
If the music isn't "Can You Feel the Sunshine," I'm gonna just walk out of this room right now.
Oh
Oh! Okay.
Okay, so I hope we can draw from that it's a 2D.
Hey!
Whoa!
Classics back.
Generations 2.
Actually, I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
How are they gonna do that though? How many didn't they do all
How many generations are we gonna have?
Yeah.
Join the resistance. Wait, that's it? What?
Wow.
What?
That was
Alright,
Sonic
it's
Generations 2.
2.
Should we talk about that first?
Yeah.
Or should we just move on to the next? Okay, talk about this then.
Nah, move on.
No, that
No,
was.
Steven. What?
I want to buy Sonic Generations now because honestly,
It's good.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
It's just, oh man. So is it Sonic Generations 2 then? It's gotta
That's
be.
what it looks like.
Yeah. How did he shoot a hedgehog out of his hands? That shit didn't make sense to me. Unless it came from somewhere else. I get it now.
So yeah, definitely like what I got out of the trailer is that it's bigger enemies. It's gonna be like just like Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations. They put emphasis on the fact that
Sonic,
the team
yeah,
behind
Sonic
those two
Generations.
games. Kind of okay. Sonic Colors. Oh, they,
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I don't know, Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations are both meh.
Yeah, but it's better than Sonic Boom.
Okay, fair enough. It just doesn't need bigger enemies though. If you just focus on like level design rather than trying to make Sonic epic, then maybe, just maybe, Sonic might actually be good again.
Yeah.
Hey, the first Sonics were pretty good. I have
Yeah,
Sonic CD. That one's pretty
That's
good.
why I say it again, intern! Jesus Christ! Open your goddamn ears!
I work at a warehouse. Sorry, guys. Can't hear that much.
Yeah, excuses.
So I work in a warehouse and I heard it.
Steven!
Your contribute, you know, ignore
Steven.
your contribution.
Steven, you're not in the video.
Don't care.
Anyway.
Man,
Yeah, it's
I'm
like-
gonna come up with an excellent role for Steven in the next skit we do.
Okay. But, okay.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm skeptic.
Now, you being here, you've automatically accepted the role. I'm sorry.
I said nothing.
I want to be excited, but at the same time, I'm a bit skeptic.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it'll be okay. Like, if it's just going to be another Sonic Generations, then that's fine. It'll just be another, like, pretty safe, good Sonic game.
Yeah.
Nothing to really get excited about.
Yeah, nothing revolutionary, but at the same time, it's gonna sell.
Well,
It's a good Sonic's track.
It can't be worse than Sonic Boom, honestly, guys. I mean,
Well, I mean,
when
I
that
guess
when,
Sonic Boom had some sort of potential. It just came out completely unfinished because of some like logistic issues.
it was shit.
I
It
mean,
was shit.
they were planning to make a game for an advanced system, and they said, "No, sorry, you're making it for the Wii U. You got to downgrade it a bit." Well, okay. I guess we're going to work out some software issues literally a week before this game ships.
yeah. Jesus, Sonic Boom.
Well, I heard when people played at E3, it was garbage. They're just like, they just let it through. They're just like, it's Sonic, it's gonna sell, and it did sell, but it wasn't the Sonic we know.
Yeah, I wanted to try something different for sure. But, and Sonic's just been finding it harder than Mario trying to split up into different sports teams.
Yeah, for real. But
I
Mario's
tried
actually-
that. Haven't you played Sonic Riders or Sonic R?
Yeah,
The best Sonic racing game?
actually,
Can you feel the sunshine?
Can you feel the sunshine?
I think so.
Okay, well, I think that's about all we can say about that teaser.
Yeah. It's not really much of a trailer,
It's a teaser.
but
Fuck
that's
it.
all we can. That's all we can have at it.
It was good enough for me.
All right. And I guess the next one is Sonic Mania. See,
Sonic Mega Collection 2 confirmed.
Hey, that was a pretty good game.
that was really good.
Yeah.
3D was okay.
3D just made me sick. But then there's
Here.
Sonic Adventure 2,
Sonic
Yeah.
Adventure and Heroes.
which is just like, it's the Cory in the house of Sonic the Hedgehog games.
That's That's too much animation, Sonic. Calm down.
That looks cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I was expecting from the previous Sonic trailer. And
You didn't get it for that.
I might get that game. That actually was cool.
It actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just another kind of. I mean, it's a little less safe. They're introducing, I guess, a new mechanic.
That's
All
what I
new
was
drop
thinking.
dash.
Oh,
It's a new game.
Oh.
it seems like it's cool. It's a
Oh,
new,
okay.
simple mechanic, but it's a mechanic that makes sense within the context of what a Sonic the Hedgehog game usually is, instead of like bullshit werehog mechanic.
We're
Or
on.
using the whip.
The
Yeah,
whip.
or the
Or the
whip,
knight-
the
the-
lasso,
The night one.
The
or
sword.
Sword.
Sonic, but he's got a sword.
Getting pretty cool, guys.
Fighting Hedgehog.
But where's Shadow, though? Where's his edginess?
Where's and Knuckles?
Knuckles the enchilada.
But yeah, it looks like it's really pointing towards, the classics. This is where it begins.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh. I actually like this. Like, I like this.
yeah, I like it too.
Even though when they said 2017 of spring, I'm like, I'm probably going to forget. But
Yeah. Although it makes me wonder whether or not you could actually do something with the Sonic IP and make it good beyond just going back to what classic Sonic is.
yeah.
I don't know, that seems so hard because it just seems like no one can really...
Yeah, it seems like a premise that really only works just on a 2D plane, which, I mean, you could, I guess you could make work outside of classic Sonic.
I guess, like, if you look at Sonic Colors, it is pretty different from, like, the original Sonic games. Like, 2D, well, like, the 2D platforming parts of it, like, it is kind of very familiar, but, like, with the different mechanics, like, using, like, the wisp and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what made it different.
It's just, the mechanics in a game like Sonic Colors always felt, like, gimmicky. Like, I mean, it's just something that's here for this game, rather than we're going to expand on old mechanics and try to find new mechanics we can incorporate into future Sonic games from there. Which is, I think, something that's indicative of good game design.
I think they did a pretty poor choice with, like, Sonic Lost Worlds, where they brought the wisp back, which sounded cool at first, but then it was just, like, a very mild, very passive input.
Lost Worlds was just...
It was its own thing.
Meh.
It was
a resounding...
Honestly, to me, it looked
okay.
like they were trying to capitalize on the Mario 3D, when that came out.
Yeah,
basically.
They did. They
And
definitely
it's-
want... Oh, go ahead.
It's originally what Sonic Boom was supposed to be.
They're just trying out new stuff in. Just doesn't seem to click well.
Sonic Boom, more like Sonic Bust.
Shut up, intern.
Stop. I don't know. I think it's hard to imagine like what Sonic could be, but like rather it's always focused on what Sonic always has been.
Yeah.
I just hope that this game is at least a stepping stone into figuring out what Sonic could be past, like, the 16-bit era.
Because it seems like Generations and Colors seem to be the right stepping stone.
Didn't they make a new Sonic, but they were trying to go back to the old way, except they just renewed everything, like the graphics and stuff?
Yeah, that was,
was like
Sonic the Hedgehog 4, which
Yeah.
was like an Xbox Live Arcade game.
Yeah.
Which was good in its own right. I felt like the level design was either just recycled from previous Sonic games, or I don't know, there was something about I can't really explain why, but Sonic the Hedgehog 4 just fell flat. I guess it's also because I played it after I played the Sonic Advance games, which felt like good logical procession after the original Sonic the Hedgehog games. But 4 just felt like, it was like Advance didn't exist, and they just went back to the drawing board, which kind of didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Well, I mean, if we compare it to Mario, Mario's been kind of like the same thing, except for like spin-off games with sports and stuff like that.
And if you look at how like the mainline Mario series progressed, you can kind of see where those like slight tinkering of mechanics happens, like, or at least like slight changes in the level design.
Yeah.
They just kind of progressively gotten more and more difficult. You've gotten used to that. It's like Mario is just a single game that's spread out over the years, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because it just Miyamoto just does it so well. Or he makes it feel like we're always experiencing something new with little small changes and nuance in level design.
Like the squirrel nest.
Then you have to wonder, why doesn't Sonic feel like the same way? Because if you like just kind of define it as that, then it's like, yeah, Sonic is going through like different things, so it's a different experience each time, but it's not really the same quality of a Sonic game as you feel in the past.
It's just because Sonic was a pretty new concept when it first came out, and when you can make good, I don't know, like there was no really like nuance as can't words.
Yes.
So like think about the transition between like Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario World. Like at heart it was basically the same, but there were some subtle like aesthetic changes and like design changes, mechanic changes that all kind of made sense, and it felt like it was a good logical procession from like Mario to Super Mario Brothers. The closest analog I can think of with Sonic the Hedgehog was the transition between the mainline games and like the 3D Sonic games, Sonic 3D World and Sonic CD, which felt a little less natural and more gimmicky because, again, they were just kind of trying to capitalize on new hardware or advances in hardware to sell their games rather than focus on like core mechanics and design.
Yeah, and I also think about Legend of Zelda as well.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem like, for especially like Link to Past versus like Link Between Two Worlds, and then 3D Zelda, and just like how it just continues to build up on it. They're all different experiences, but like built from the same concept. Whereas like some like Sonic games are just like built from the ground of like Sonic Boom.
Yeah, oddly enough, 3D is just kind of where Sonic lost his momentum.
But I still feel like
he stopped going fast.
When Sonic Unleashed came out, it showed like 3D going 3D going fast.
Dude, I fucking remember the marketing from Sonic Unleashed. I was a happy-go-lucky 8th grader and just thinking, wow, they advertise it as like a brand new 2D Sonic game. Good. I've been waiting for this. Oh, actually, when I was in 8th grade, I still thought Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 were just the greatest thing ever. But it was still nice to kind of see a return to form, something like 3D Sonic Advance. But then it happened, and it was awful.
I still think like Colors and Generation Sonic are probably like the best Sonics right now.
So far, yeah.
As far as like handling like what Sonic can be and what it has always been.
Yeah, I agree.
So to see like how could they steadily like improve from that, and that's gonna be the most interesting thing about it. Are they gonna add new mechanic to it? Are they going to just add another gimmick to it? Hopefully not.
Or is it just gonna be a sequel of Generations?
I mean, I guess people would be still happy for that.
Yeah, of course.
Generations was pretty solid.
It's so weird looking at the two Sonics and being like, wow, they're the same person?
Yeah.
I'm also just kind of worried about Sonic being handled by SEGA, which is kind of like in the same boat as Konami, but not as bad. Whereas Konami is going full ham, like arcade cabinets and pachinko machines.
Yeah.
SEGA still knows that it makes most of its money now from arcade cabinets and UFO catchers. So, I mean, how much effort is it actually going to put into making a good Sonic game when it's not its cash cow anymore?
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Now that you think about it, it's just maybe.
I think the Sonic team's gonna pull it off.
I hope so.
I mean, I will remain cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, likewise. Alright, I guess we're good with this discussion.
Yeah.
Good talk. Yeah, hopefully it'll be really good.
Yeah.
Or at least passable.
Passable,
And then we'll see what happens. Alright, hashtag bye everyone.
Bye.
Yay.
So it's Sonic the last 2D Sonic guys I game is what, Sonic the Hedgehog 5?
Yeah.
Or no, is it the HD remaster Sonic Mega Collection?
Oh, maybe.
New zones.
No, this actually looks...
Director's Cut and Knuckles?
3 playable characters, Tails and Knuckles. Okay.
Hey, Knuckles is the man.
And Knuckles.
The
Me-
enchilada.
The enchilada.